It has been 2 years since we last crowned a state softball champion, but that will change as we have 6 fantastic games over the next 3 days. Welcome everybody inside the Benton Schools Athletic Complex alongside former Arkansas Razorback Sydney Parr. I am Dorian Kraft, and Sydney, we could not have picked a better game to start with this 2A final between the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs and the Mansfield Lady Tigers. Both of these teams very evenly matched, led by freshman pitchers. Sydney, what is going to be the difference maker in teams that are so even today?
I think the difference maker is going to be their pitching staff. Both pitchers are absolutely phenomenal and have been for both teams this entire season. So we're going to see 2 great pitchers go head-to-head. I think they're going to need to stick to what they have done the entire season that's made them successful.
We started this game a little bit early, so we bring you now into the top of the first inning as the Mansfield Tigers have loaded the bases after McKaylee Gist hit number 13, Chloe Creekmore. That is going to bring up number 1, Natalie Allison, the sophomore. And this is not a batter you want at the plate with the bases loaded, hitting over 400 on the season.
Right, Dorian, and right now, before she was hit by a pitch, Allison Edwards had a double off the left center field wall, advancing Kiera Thomas.
Hard on the ground to third, play comes home. And Tuckerman gets the force out at the plate.
And that's exactly what you want in that situation. Bases loaded, ground ball to third base, get the out at home, get the lead runner. That's exactly what you want.
Heads up play by Kenzie Soden over at third base, but the Lady Bulldogs not out of danger yet. They still have the bases loaded with 2 outs. That is Skylin Harris swinging at the first pitch.
Just has been absolutely incredible on the mound thus far. She did give up that double, but she has really been working these hitters on the outside part of the plate, really throwing a great screwball.
Hard in the air to left field. But it is a line drive out as Mansfield loads the bases, but the Lady Tigers unable to bring anybody in. Gist gets out of a jam, and we are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first here in the 2A final. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
For students, it's always more fun to include the arts when you're learning. I mean, just to have expression, to see different forms of entertainment, it always just makes it more fun. And when I heard that my mother was recording different sections that teachers were going to see, I was excited for the students who will get to use it in their classroom.
Arkansas PBS is a place where everyone can see themselves, where everyone can find themselves, where everyone can be a part of something bigger than themselves.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and sales.
Welcome back to the Benton Schools Athletic Complex as we are in the bottom of the first, where the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs will come to bat. The Lady Bulldogs 28-4 on the season. The champions of the 2A2 conference, riding a 12-game winning streak. And they are lucky to be tied in this game so far as Mansfield loaded the bases in the top of the first. Bulldogs lineup.
This is a very powerful lineup. You know, starting out with Shanley Williams, she is a spark of the lineup. She's a great left-handed hitter. She can do it all from the left side. She's also very influential for her team, coach said. So what a better person to start off the lineup in the, state championship game.
And they will be going up against the fantastic freshman right-hander Allison Edwards. She has been the workhorse for this Mansfield team. She has pitched all 112 innings during the season.
She has a great low ERA. She has been phenomenal on the mound for this team. Actually, during the warm-up, we just saw her slip a little bit. So I think she's on the sidelines getting her shoes back on, getting ready to go out there and pitch.
And we saw that in the top of the first from McKaylee Gist as well. Remember, here at Benton, this is an all-turf field. These are somewhat new. Sydney and I both played on the traditional dirt and grass, but the turf has become more popular with the weather. There has been rain in the area, so footing will be especially important as we continue on throughout these championships.
Right, it's really unfortunate when it rains. It is good that it's turf, but it gets a little bit slick, especially pitching and sliding. You have to be cautious of that when you're going sliding into the base.
Well, Shanley Williams leading off this Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs lineup, and really the first five kind of a murderer's row for Tuckerman. All are hitting over or right around that 400 mark as we get set to go. Williams offers at the strike.
She does a great job there. First pitch out of the chute, attacking Shanley Williams.
That one slipped out of the grasp of Edwards for ball two, and Shanley Williams really kind of what we've seen these left-handed hitters evolve into over the years. She can slap it, she can drop it down for the bunt, she can hit away. And she takes that one high, a very difficult lefty to defend leading off this order.
And to be honest, being a former athlete slapping, I love to see a leadoff hitter being able to, use all of her tools. This turf field, it's going to be super important. She puts the ball on the ground.
That one just off the outside corner as Williams has run the count to 3-1. And if you're Allison Edwards, the thing you really don't want to do here is go ahead and walk the leadoff hitter.
Right, in this big moment, you really don't want to get behind in the count.
Slapped foul down the left field line.
She just did a really great job of staying on that pitch. It was right outside. Screwball off the plate. She really stayed on it to foul it off.
Edwards really wanting to stay away from the powerful bats of the Lady Bulldogs. Chopped on the ground to third. Over in time to get the speedy Williams by a step for the first down of the inning. And support your team and join the conversation on social media with the hashtag ARPBS Sports. As we continue through these championships over the weekend, the first in what will be 6 state championship games. This one will be followed at 4 o'clock by the 5A state championship between Benton and Greenwood as Kenzie Soden takes ball one high. Edwards not able to get Soden to bite on the outer part of the corner, and Soden has drawn 14 walks on the season, one of the higher totals for this team. Ball three low, and so far Edwards having a little bit of a hard time finding the strike zone here in the early going.
Right, I think something that we're seeing from Edwards right here, both left-handed batters, she's really attacked them on the outside part of the plate, losing it just a little bit outside.
Soden works a 4-pitch walk, and for Edwards, sometimes pitchers can get a little bit too fine when they're trying to paint the corners. And what happens is then you're starting to put extra runners on instead of allowing them an opportunity to put the ball in play and let your defense get outs behind you. Gracie Smith hitting .526 on the year, steps in, takes ball one on the inside part. Two and 0 to Smith as that one even further on the inside part of the plate, and Smith going to put the ball in play. She leads this team in hits with 61, and she does not strike out or walk much, only 8 walks on the year, only 6 strikeouts, so she is definitely a contact hitter. Edwards gets the call, and the fans from Tuckerman didn't quite like that one. They thought it was in the same spot as the first two.
They sure did it, and right now Edwards, even to a right-handed batter, staying on the inside part of that plate.
That one low and in. Ball 3, and Edwards really trying to make sure she locks up the Tuckerman batters on the handle, not giving them an opportunity to extend their hands on that inside pitch. Flared into the right center field gap, over the head. Sodden's going to be raved around third. No play at the plate. Sodden will be safe as Tuckerman takes the lead on the stand-up triple by Gracie Smith.
Gracie Smith just did a phenomenal job getting inside of that pitch, hitting it to right field. Haley Walker, she took a not so great angle, got over her head, but what a better time than the first inning to jump ahead.
And that's where that 4-pitch walk from Soden looms large. You put runners on, and unfortunately for Mansfield, Tuckerman will make you pay, as they've done all year.
You're exactly right, Dorian. And in a big-time game like this, walking a batter, getting her on base, can't let it happen. You can't make the moment bigger than what it is.
Audrey Altum at the plate. She has 37 runs batted in on the year, leads the team in that category, also leads the team in doubles. And this is a lot of power coming to the plate right now.
Yes, it is. This team has a lot of power. They really attack the zone early in their counts, which makes them very successful at the plate.
First pitch swinging, pops it up. It's going to stay on the infield. Skyland Harris makes the grab for the second out.
You know, in that situation, Dorian, I would like to see Olton be a little bit more patient at the plate. You know, previously, Kinsey Soden had that 4-pitch walk. Gracie Smith just hit the triple, but I would have liked to have seen her be a little bit more patient.
And now McKaylee Gist will get a chance to help her own cause. First pitch swinging again. Edwards calling for it in the circle. And she makes the third out, but Tuckerman gets on the board courtesy of an RBI triple from Gracie Smith. They lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the second inning. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
The Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
It'll be Haley Walker, Cole Smith, and Harley Fuller coming to the plate in the top of the second for the Mansfield Lady Tigers as they find themselves trailing 1-0 in this 2A state championship against the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs. And McKaylee Gist going back to work in the circle. Mansfield able to get to her in the first inning. They loaded the bases but not able to bring anybody in. The 7-8-9 coming up, and 7-8-9 has been able to start some rallies as they made it through the state tournament. They'll try to get started here. Haley Walker batting .274 on the year, 17 hits, 3 doubles.
Really quickly, Dorian, I think what we've seen so far in the first inning, both offenses, they've put a little bit of pressure on the defense. So we'll see how Edwards and Gist respond the rest of the game.
Ball one to the outside. Gist still trying to stay away from these hitters. And Sydney, as a leadoff hitter in this situation, what's the mindset that a player is coming into this at-bat with?
I think similar to what I just talked about with Edwards, don't make the moment bigger than what it is.
That one catches the part of the plate for strike one.
This is a really good count here, right here. She's in a positive hitter's count, 1-1. We'll see what she does with this next pitch thrown.
Swings at strike two. And that one had a little bit of a drop on it.
Right, she's usually east to west, but that drop ball, I think she was trying to throw a screw, dropped a little bit. It was a really great pitch.
Tried to go high, but missed with the rise ball, evens the count at 2-2. And you know, we talked about Allison Edwards doing the majority of the work for Mansfield. It's been McKaylee Gist doing the majority of the work for Tuckerman this year, as that one skips to the backstop. But it's unusual to see freshmen leading the charge in the way that Gist and Edwards are doing for both of these teams, and it's nice to see them doing this. Donnie Evel talking about Edwards said she played way beyond her years.
Exactly right. Both pitchers have grown so much throughout their season, but it's really exciting. They've got 3 more years left with these programs.
Tuckerman fans thought that one caught a part of the plate, but it is going to be a leadoff walk for Haley Walker. And if you are Mansfield, that's the way you wanted to start the inning after coming off the bottom half of the first where you gave up a run. So now the Lady Tigers in business with a runner on first. Cole Filler. Swinging at the first pitch. Drops in. Ansley Dawson trying to get the runner at first. Walker had held up to make sure that ball wasn't caught, but the throw sails high into left field, and just like that, the Lady Tigers with 2 on and no out.
Yeah, walking Haley Walker really got it started for Mansfield, and then that soft fly. You know, sometimes those types of hits, they get the job done.
A bloop and a blast is sometimes all you need. As Harley Fuller steps in, shows bunt, puts it down on the ground. Tuckerman able to get the out at first. Gist getting over just in time to beat Fuller to the bag.
In that situation, that is perfect for Fuller, knowing what she needs to do, what her role is, getting the job done, laying the bunt down to advance the runners. You love to see it. Now we have runners at second and third with the top of our lineup with Adams.
Brooklyn Adams struck out in her first at bat, worked a full count before striking out swinging. That one goes to the backstop. Walker thought about it for a second, thought better of it as Audrey Altum quickly back there to prevent the run from coming in, but Adams hitting .516 on the year. Doesn't get a ton of RBI opportunities, hitting primarily in that leadoff spot. Does have 18 runs batted in on the year. Takes a good cut, fouls it back.
I think Walker, the pitch before, do you think she thought it was going to bounce off the pads on the backstop a little bit harder?
It can be difficult to read with that padding on the background. Sometimes the padding will deaden that back there. Sometimes it'll bounce back. There's not a ton of room here at Benton. Probably on the safer side to let her wait. As line through the right side. That's going to bring in one. It's misplayed in right field. Here comes another run, and Mansfield has taken the lead as Cole Smith able to score from second on the error in right field.
Just like I said earlier, Dorian, these offenses, they're putting pressure on the defense, and what I love is I'm going to give kudos to Harley Fuller for getting that bunt down to get them in scoring position, and big time hit by Adams to score both runners.
Kiera Thomas swinging at the first pitch, and Mansfield has been the aggressor on the offensive side here so far.
They absolutely have. You know, they've had a walk, a hit by a pitch, but I mean, man, they're absolutely putting the ball in play. I think they're sticking to their approach, and they're really dialed in at the plate. They're not expanding the zones so far.
That one's driven to deep center field. but the park will contain it. It was right at Shanley Williams standing in center field, but she gave that ball a ride.
That really was a good piece of hitting, especially in the count that she was in. She, really hit it solid.
Allison Edwards stepping to the plate with 2 outs. Edwards hit a double in the top of the first inning.
Edwards with a .521 average, 3 home runs. She's got 2 outs on the board. We'll see what she does.
Line foul into the top of the first base dugout, and it was Edwards that had the 2-run home run over Quitman that helped spug the Lady Tigers into the state semifinal. And be the first to know what's happening at Arkansas PBS and get the latest sports updates. Download the Engage Arkansas PBS app today for exclusive content.
The thing that I'm loving to see right now from Edwards, Dorian, is she is going up to the plate so aggressive.
Michaela Giss not giving these hitters a ton to swing at as that one rises up and out of the zone, but when she is, they are certainly taking advantage of it, and that's the mindset you have to have in a game like this, right, Sydney? You know what a state championship was like. You've played in 4 of them yourself. I mean, there's not another game. You got to take a chance at it.
You're exactly right.
Nub down the line to first. Reagan Washam beats Edwards to the bag, but Mansfield scores 2 on a walk and 2 hits as they have taken the lead 2-1 here in the top of the second. And we head to the bottom half of the inning, and you are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Now, more than ever, community is important. Local schools, businesses, and charities are in need of support. Each one of us can make a difference. When you volunteer, give, shop locally, or simply participate, you help support and grow your community. It makes us all stronger when we all are involved. I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. We're proud to be a part of this wonderful community and want to encourage each of you to be involved in yours.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. What's going on in here? Let's go!
Welcome back into the Benton Sports Complex. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS, and softball is a game of runs, and that has been highlighted here so far as Mansfield scored 2 in the top of the second to take a 2-1 lead over the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs, but Washam, Walker, and Fortenberry coming to bat in the bottom half of the second, and we talked a lot about the top half of the order in the bottom of the first inning, but the bottom half of the order just as potent for the Lady Bulldogs.
You're exactly right, Dorian.
Washam takes ball 1 high and in, hitting .370 on the year with 34 hits and 92 at bats. Takes ball 2 low.
I think from that last top of the second inning that we saw from Mansfield, Tuckerman, threw a punch in the bottom of the first, scoring the first run. And it's great that Mansfield came in the top of the second and threw a punch back.
Edwards with the 2-0. Ball 3 inside, and just as Michaela Giss working the outside part of the plate, Edwards staying in and continuing to stay into these Mansfield hitters.
She has, and these Mansfield hitters, they have really
Washam taking all the way. That was a strike, and That one ball four high, and just like in the first inning, Tuckerman able to get a runner on via the walk.
Right, and I think the thing with the Tuckerman hitters right now is Allison Edwards, she is getting behind in the count. These hitters are getting ahead in the count, so it's really making for some quality at bats.
Lizzie Walker, the DP. Swinging at the first pitch, fouled back to the screen. Walker hit her first home run of the season, the state semifinal win over Spring Hill.
She's also another lefty in their lineup who can really do damage from the left side.
Cindy, it's funny you mentioned damage because I was just about to say that this lineup 1 through 9, they're all tough outs.
You're exactly right. Every single batter in this lineup, when they step up to the plate, they're bringing it. There's not hitters in this lineup where, you know, there's hitters that are kind of hidden or, you know, it's kind of like, what are they going to do when they step up to the plate? No, they're getting the job done.
Soft on the ground, a short cut off by Brooklyn Adams, ranging way over to the glove side. Gets it over to second in time to get Washam. Nice play by Adams, being heads up in that situation to get the lead runner.
Right, that's a really great job by Adams coming across the diamond. She took that ball from Kiera Thomas, but I absolutely love it. She was aggressive, she got the lead out.
That brings up Anna Fortenberry, the second baseman. Looks at a ball inside.
Edwards right now, she's still sticking to her plan, throwing these Tuckerman hitters screwballs inside. We'll see if she keeps continuing to stick with this approach.
Another one high and in, and Mansfield so far doesn't look like they're paying a lot of attention to Lizzie Walker over there at first. Tuckerman doesn't steal a whole lot of bases.
And there it is again, Dorian. I mean, she's throwing that screwball on the inside part. I think until Tuckerman can prove to, you know, Edwards, that they can hit that pitch, I think she's going to keep sticking to that side of the plate.
Swings at that one on the inner half of the part of the plate, and I think for Tuckerman, until Ricky Geiger starts calling it a strike, they're not going to swing at it.
You are exactly right. And too, what we've been seeing from these hitters are they're getting jammed. They've hit a lot of pop-ups. Even the ball that was hit to right field, she got jammed on that pitch.
2-2 to Fortenberry. High and away, Fortenberry lays off to run the count full.
This is a really good at-bat right here by Fortenberry. She's staying disciplined. She's not expanding the zone. There's been a few pitches that have been borderline. She's doing a great job.
The 3-2. And she got her swinging. Edwards comes right after Fortenberry in the top half of the zone. And she sets her down with a strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Edwards just did a great job right there in a full count, throwing that pitch up in the zone, really trusting that pitch.
Starts Ansley Dawson with a ball high and out.
There it looked like Edwards was trying to throw a curve, got a little bit away from her, got out of the zone.
Came back inside with that screwball for strike. I thought it was strike two. The board says 1-1, so that'll be 2-1 as that ball low and inside. And play ball with the full Ken Burns Landmark Series Baseball DVD set by signing up to receive our newsletter at myarpbs.org/signup. And of course, softball, not the only state championships going on this weekend. The baseball state championships being held here at the Benton Schools Athletic Complex as well. They will start later in the day. This 2A state finals kicking off the action, but we will have baseball in the 5A between Van Buren and Jonesboro coming up at 1 p.m. as that ball flared into foul territory, just out of reach of the first baseman, Skyland Harris.
Harris did a great job of taking good angle, going back on that ball. She almost had it, just a little bit short.
Well, those little tweeners can sometimes be deceptively hard.
Oh, they can, especially when it's spinning off the bat like that.
3-2 to Dawson with 2 outs and a runner on first for Tuckerman. And she takes ball 4 high.
That's another great at bat by Dawson. She really, in that full count, she didn't expand her zone. Another great at bat.
The 2 walks in the inning for Tuckerman bring us to the top of the order, and Shanley Williams, the center fielder. Williams, the lefty slapper. You see the infield shift. That ball outside, but the infield shifting. They expect Williams to lay one down as you see both second base and shortstop move in just a step or two. Fouled back to the screen.
From both at bats so far from Shanley Williams, she has been all over Edwards' pitches. Another thing that I love to see is when she's moving through the box as a slapper, she goes at such a controlled pace. She really has great mechanics up at the plate.
Williams batting .481 on the year, 50 hits on the season for the junior. There's the 1-1. Low. Bobbled for a second by Creekmore behind the plate. Good job to control it to keep the Tuckerman runners where they are. The 2-1 from Edwards. Hard on the ground, back up the middle, but right at Edwards. And she throws it over to first for the 3rd out of the inning, as Tuckerman gets runners on but can't get him in and over. Mansfield still leading 2-1 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning here in the 2A state championship. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app, your on-demand library for the best of PBS.
Born a slave in Jamaica, taken from a mama. This be my story.
I hate the myth of Hemingway. The man is much more interesting than the myth.
There is no alternative to soul.
That on national TV was revolutionary.
These and other shows are available with Passport on the PBS video app. Download it today.
My name is Al Lopez, Papa Rap in the house. I live in Northwest Arkansas via Puerto Rico. Been here since 1994, desde 94. And really, Arkansas PBS is the one that has taught me about this great community that we have here. Wonderful, beautiful, so much programming, tanta programación for children, for grown-ups, porque es el canal de Arkansas. This is the real Arkansas channel.
The Mansfield Lady Tigers come to bat in the top of the 3rd inning with a 2-1 lead over the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs. It will be Creekmore, Thomas, and Smith in the top of the 3rd, with Edwards, Ward, and Adam potentially coming up after that. And Chloe Creekmore, the senior catcher, has been absolutely outstanding at the plate this season, committed to National Park College in Hot Springs, leading the team in a batting average with .456. Swinging at the first pitch from Gist. Into the hole at short, but over in time. What a throw by Gracie Smith to get Creekmore by a step.
That was an absolutely incredible play by Kinsey Soden right there. I also want to go back a little bit, Dorian. So Mansfield, just to paint the picture for everybody, they came in with these fun hats. They had music blaring in their dugout. They had fun, but now they're serious.
And that is exactly what head coach Donnie Eveld told us. We asked about the hats. He said they saw them last week at the state tournament in Carlisle. They thought it would be fun, but they know when to flip that switch and they know when to be serious. And they have come ready to do business here today. Is that ball from Gist on the outer half of the outer part of the plate. She has fallen behind Natalie Allison 2-0.
And I think that's incredible that they show up to the field, you know, they're loose, they've got these hats on, they're blaring music, and then they know how to turn that switch.
Ricky Geiger says that one was a strike.
Gist right now against Creekmore, she's really sticking to that outside part of the plate.
Allison fouls that one back to even the count at 2-2. And Sydney, as it is so often with some of these smaller schools, these girls playing multiple different sports. Allison, a member of the 2A state championship volleyball team.
Yes, both the volleyball team and, you know, as we're watching the softball team in the final game, that's so cool that these athletes, they just won a volleyball state championship and now they're here competing, trying to win one for softball.
3-2. Into the gap in right center field, but hangs up enough for the out to be made by Ansley Dawson for the second out of the inning.
And number 23 is Skylar Harris.
The 2A student athlete of the game is Madison Brokaw from Melbourne High School, the second baseman shortstop. A member of the class of 2021, has a 3.9 GPA and plans to obtain her BSN in nursing and travel the country as an RN, as that ball smoked into the left center field gap by Skylin Harris for the stand-up double.
Skylin Harris just did a beautiful job on that low inside pitch, really staying down through it, smoking it past Gracie Smith. Just a really great piece of hitting.
Number 10, Haley Walker.
That is the second double of the afternoon for Mansfield, and when they've been able to make contact, they've been able to really drive this ball off of McKaylee Gist, and that is going to bring to the plate the number 7 hitter, Haley Walker, swinging at the first pitch, slapped foul.
Walker in her last at bat, very patient, she walked. Right now, she's jumping on that first pitch strike.
Mansfield have been very aggressive in their at-bats here so far this afternoon. Walker with 10 RBIs on the season, would love to pick up number 11 right here. But Gist paints the outer part of the plate and quickly up in the count, 0-2.
That is a great pitch by Gist. She really did a great job. I think she took off a little bit of some speed right there. It was a little bit slower than her fastball.
The 0-2. High and out.
And that count right there for Walker, you're 0-2, you're behind in the count. Sometimes it's easy to chase pitches and expand your zone. She didn't do that right there. Gist lost it a little bit up and out.
Ball 2 is that one just missed on the outer part of the plate, and Walker, another one of these seniors on this Mansfield team, and the Lady Tigers haven't brought home a state championship since 2012. That was against Rosebud in the 3A, and they would love to bring another title back for their community. That one fouled back as Walker stays alive.
Talking about community, head coach Donnie, he said that this would be huge for the community. They've been so supportive for Mansfield this year. They've really shown support, been at their games. It would be huge for the community.
You can see just how much it means to the community by the fans in the stands here today at the Benton Schools Athletic Complex is the 2-2. That one just missed, and again, Walker has worked herself a full count.
And you know, it's so great to see, Dorian, all of these fans in the stands. I mean, they're not at Bogle, but getting to play here at Benton at a beautiful complex, the fans just create the atmosphere.
The 3-2, gets her looking as Gist once again works herself out of the jam. Gets Haley Walker looking at a pitch down the middle of the plate to end the inning. As we head to the bottom of the third with Mansfield still leading 2-1. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Well, the wind has started to pick up here a little bit in the Benton Schools Athletic Complex as we head to the bottom of the third. It's getting a little bit cloudy, but the most important thing, Cindy, is not raining.
That is exactly right, Dorian. As long as there's not rain coming out of the sky, we are good to go.
Well, rain has been moving throughout the state of Arkansas this weekend. Luckily, it keeps getting pushed back, although right now the weather forecast says about 3 p.m. this afternoon as Ansley delivers the first pitch ball to Kenzie Soden. We've seen a little bit of the effects of the rain on the field here this afternoon. Both pitchers having a little bit of a hard time with their footing earlier, but both seem to have settled in. As the 2-0, or the 1-0 rather, make it 2-0 as that one on the outer part of the plate.
Edwards is really sticking to that outer part of the plate right now, throwing a screw off the plate. She's been attacking lefties that way the entire game so far.
The 2-0. Soden content to watch it go by. I don't know about you, but 2-0 is always my favorite hitter's count, always.
Oh, most definitely. You're in a positive count. It's perfect.
Well, Soden thought about it, thought better of it. And as it turns out, that is ball 3. So Tuckerman has really been able to work some favorable counts here in these first couple innings against Edwards. And another leadoff walk.
Leadoff walks are huge, but I want to go back to a couple of pitches ago. I think Edwards did such a great job in a 2-0 count, coming back and attacking the zone. It just didn't go her way that at bat, but a leadoff walk by Kenzie Soden, that is huge for her team in the bottom of the third inning.
And Gracie Smith tripled in the bottom of the first to plate Soden, who walked in that first inning, and that is how Tuckerman scored their first and only run, rather. As that one heads to the backstop, Soden off and running easily into second base.
Going back to Gracie Smith's first at bat, she was so successful because she started out working ahead in the count. Here we're seeing her, she's worked again ahead in the count. So we'll see what she does with this 2-0 count. Like you just said, it was your favorite. It was one of mine too.
And with that wild pitch, Donnie Eveld out to the mound to kind of settle down his pitcher. Talk to the infield, as we mentioned. It's been a while since Mansfield has been in this situation. And Cindy, what's he saying to them out there?
I think he's going out there just to say to calm down, you know, let's take it pitch by pitch. Just really stick to your approach, attack the hitters. I think he's also probably talking to Edwards about, you know, let's attack the zone a little bit more. Right now she's losing it a little bit early, but she just needs to keep digging in and grinding through it. And again, like I said earlier, you know, for these girls, they're playing on a huge stage right now. They're wanting to win a state championship, so the nerves are there, but it's a third inning, so hopefully they're starting to die down.
I was going to say, don't let anyone tell you there aren't a little bit of nerves that go with this game. As Smith takes the 2-0 for strike one on the inner part of the plate, and Smith again leading this team in RBIs, the one in the first inning, her 49th of the season. Has the opportunity for big number 50 right here. Edwards pops her up. It's going to stay on the infield into the glove of Cole Smith at second, and that is a big out for Allison Edwards.
That is a huge out by Allison Edwards. She has a runner on second, no outs, comes back and attacks Gracie Smith. I think Smith right there, she just didn't stay through the ball long enough, but again, kudos to Edwards. That's a great job pitching.
Of course, you can't relax because Audrey Altum coming up right behind her. 2 for 4 with a home run earlier this year in their win over Valley View. Third on the team in RBIs in 37, so she's got some pop. As that ball kicked away, nice job by Creekmore to block it as Sodden was already halfway down the base path to third.
I think Sodden right there, she's like, am I going to go? What am I going to do? But yeah, really good job by Creekmore keeping that ball in front. She's really blocked some good balls so far.
And the difference in that ball, I think, is it was kicked down to the third baseline. It would have shortened the distance for Creekmore to make that throw. That one called a strike to Audrey Altum, evening the count at 1-1. Altum just under 400 at 376, 114 plate appearances. As she takes a hack. Not able to catch up with the offering from Edwards.
And I'll tell you, Dorian, I think since head coach Donnie came out there to talk to Edwards and her defense, I've seen a little bit of a change in Edwards. She's really getting out there and getting going.
The 1-2. Gets her swinging at the rise ball for strike 3.
This is a really great job by Edwards. She starts out, first pitcher she walks, gets Gracie Smith to pop up, and now she has a K against Audrey Altum. She's throwing some punches.
Edwards went right after that batter, and McKaylee Gist swinging at the first pitch. And you have to wonder if maybe Gist adding a little bit of pressure on herself, knowing that she's the starting pitcher. She knows that she can even up the game here with a base hit.
Right, I guess that's the beautiful thing though, right? Being so versatile, pitching and hitting, being dominant on both, sides of the diamond. But yeah, you're exactly right, Dorian. I think she just needs to stay within herself right here.
The 1-1 from Edwards. Soft tapper on the ground, back to the mound, and Edwards again making the third out of the inning as she makes the throw to first. Tuckerman gets a runner on, but strands them in scoring position as they still trail 2-1 as we head to the top of the fourth.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
We never gonna stop.
Smith, Fuller in the top of the order, and Brooklyn Adams due up for the Mansfield Lady Tigers as they are leading 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning in the 2A State Softball Championship that you are watching on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For the Tigers, number 17, Cole Smith.
Cole Smith had an RBI single back in the second to start the scoring for the Mansfield Lady Tigers. Smith hard on the ground to second. Fortenberry over to first in time for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And there you go. Gist is back out on the mound. Really attacked Smith right there. 1 pitch, 1 out, just like you said. Can't paint it better than that.
Well, pitchers love that. Keeps their workload down as Harley Fuller steps into the box, and Fuller had a sacrifice in the bottom of the second that moved both of those runners into scoring position.
And she did a phenomenal job. You know, you absolutely love to see it. Someone willing to step up to the plate, get the job done, move the runners. You know what your role is when you step in that position, and I already said it. I give her kudos for that 2-run hit. She got him into scoring position and did a phenomenal job.
Lays down another one, this time for a hit. High throw, but Fortenberry able to contain it as they just get Fuller by a step at first base. And good idea by Fuller, but nice execution by Tuckerman.
Exactly right. Tuckerman just did awesome with that play on defense. Fortenberry, she really hung on there. But you know, Fuller, she's got some speed. Not a bad idea right there, trying to put some pressure on the defense, bunting for a base hit.
Back to the top of the order in Brooklyn Adams. And she takes strike 1. Adams with a single and a strikeout so far today.
Adams' second at bat, I loved her, seeing her come back after that strikeout and getting the job done.
Single through the right side as Adams now 2 for 3 on the afternoon, kind of shaking her hand down at first base after that one, caught it off the end of the bat.
Yeah, I think it caught off the end of the bat, stung her hands a little bit. Sometimes that happens, but hey, she got a base hit. Like you said, she's 2 for 3. Can't complain about that.
As I say, you'll take it for the base hit, right?
Oh, exactly.
So the 2-out single for Adams brings up Kiera Thomas. Thomas takes ball 1 low.
It's not a bad pitch right there. Starting out the count, drop ball. Really not a bad pitch by Gist.
Thomas with 4 doubles on the season's 8 RBIs. Sends that one out to center field, but it is high and playable, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning as she flies out to Shanley Williams. Easy inning for McKaylee Gist and the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs. They will try and get something going here in the bottom of the 4th. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS.
I'm Logan Duval.
And I'm Lauren McCullough, and we are pleased to represent Arkansas PBS as the host of these first installments of the new segment series, Good Roots.
Good Roots will explore the culture and innovation of small towns across the state of Arkansas. Tune in for Arkansas Week or find us online.
You know, I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And the one good thing about what I've seen is it's high quality production. You know, you think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. You know, Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
Washam, Walker, and Fortenberry coming to the plate for the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th as they trail 2-1 against the Mansfield Lady Tigers in the 2A state championship. And Sydney, this is not a situation altogether that Tuckerman is unfamiliar with. They trailed in both the regional and the state semifinal. In fact, in the regional semifinal, they trailed Salem 11-6 before making a late game comeback.
Exactly, and that just shows how relentless this team is. You know, facing adversity like that, that's not ever a bad thing because they're playing on a huge stage right now. They're trailing, but they know how to fight back.
Head coach Matt Dillon said one of this team's biggest strength is their will not to lose, and they're going to have to find something here in the next couple of innings as they are trailing as Washam takes strike one on the inner part of the plate.
I think Edwards has really found her groove right here we've seen in the last 2 innings.
Fouled off. Back over the first base dugout and quickly Washam down 0-2. And Edwards, you'd think that at some point she might tire. She's a freshman, never played at this level before, and yet she just keeps getting stronger as the season and this game goes on.
You're exactly right. She is a workhorse for this team.
Washam didn't miss that one by much as she fouls it directly back to the screen behind her.
And you know, head coach Donnie, he had said that she was tired in the semifinals, but in no way was she going to get taken out. She was going to stay on that mound.
Allison Edwards, an absolute gamer. No way you're taking the ball out of her hands as she brings the 0-2. That one just a bit high. We'll experience the action all over again next week and watch all the championship games at youtube.com/Arkansas PBS. As that one fouled away, and so far this is a game that I would definitely want to watch again. This has been a fantastic game between two fantastic teams, both seated top in their region coming into today's game.
Right, you're exactly right. You've got 2 great pitchers going head-to-head, but 2 great offenses going head-to-head.
The 1-2 from Edwards. Just a bit too inside as the count evens at 2-2. And you know, we talked about how evenly matched these teams are in terms of offense and pitching, but both come in on really long win streaks. Tuckerman had won 12 in a row. Mansfield winners of 9 in a row coming into today. Hard on the ground, back to Edwards. And Edwards has been solid back in the mound, fielding her position, as that is the 3rd grounder she's gotten today.
I was just about to say, Dorian, she has done a great job of fielding her position. Sometimes you see pitchers who get the job done on the mound, and then fielding-wise, it's a little shaky, but she's been incredible. She's had a hard-hit ground ball hit back at her by Williams earlier. She's doing great.
Lizzie Walker, the DP, stands in. Swinging at the first pitch, fouled back. Walker hit into a fielder's choice in the bottom of the 2nd.
Not ever a bad thing to see a hitter come up to the plate and swing at first pitch strike. I love the aggressiveness. You know, whenever I was in college, it was funny. Just our coaches had given us a percentage of how, you know, well hitters do by swinging at first pitch strike. And I think it was like 80-something% success rate by swinging at first pitch strike.
I love a first pitch strike. Sometimes it's the best pitch that you're going to see during an entire at-bat.
You're exactly right. And then after that, if you get behind the count, you're going to have to hit what the pitcher wants to throw.
Yeah, no one wants to hit a pitcher's pitch.
No, never.
Edwards with the 0-1. That one on the outside as Walker leaves it down and away.
Right now we have a great ball game going, like you said, 2-1. We'll see how it continues, but Edwards, she's dealing right now.
Ball 2, and again, we keep mentioning Edwards, just a freshman playing obviously in her first state championship game, but this is also the first state championship for the rest of this team. Coach Donnie Eveld, this is his first year with the team. He wasn't with the program back when they won the state championship in 2012. So everyone, a new stage for them today as Walker swings through the drop ball.
And talking about Coach Eveld, he said that he didn't even start in the position until February. And you know, that's right about when the season starts. So he's doing great things for this team.
The 2-2. Walker chases low and away. She strikes out for out number 2.
Edwards just did a great job of working around Walker, getting her to chase. That's exactly what she was wanting.
The 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Allison Edwards. Hannah Fortenberry, a victim of the strikeout in her last at bat. Takes ball 1 low. That one caught enough of the plate. Ricky Geyer going to call that a strike to even the count at 1-1.
Another thing I want to point out about Edwards that I'm loving, she works quick. She doesn't take her time. She works very quick.
Get your pitches in and get off the field so you can get back in to hit. As Fortenberry fouls it off. And Sydney, I think that's a sign of a pitcher that's a little bit more comfortable in her scenario, or in the setting, I should say. You know, we saw earlier in the game taking a little bit more time, looked a little bit unsure, but now that she's really locked in, she's not wasting any time.
You're exactly right. She's found her groove. She's in it now.
The 1-2 to Fortenberry.
And like you had said, I think it just takes a little bit of time to get settled. She is just a freshman. She still has quite a journey with this team, but she is doing great for her age, playing on this stage.
Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 looking. As the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs go down in order. Ground out, strikeout from Edwards. Mansfield heads to the top of the 5th inning, leading 2-1. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
This past year has felt like a marathon in many ways, with each of us working to reach the finish line. We are happy we can make this journey together. Arkansas PBS is over halfway to our goal of adding 3,000 members by June 30th. If we succeed, we receive $21,000 from our Ambassador Circle. If you're not yet a member, you can help us reach the finish line. Call or go online today.
Part of the order coming up for the Mansfield Lady Tigers here in the top of the 5th inning. Allison Edwards, Chloe Creekmore, and Natalie Allison due up. And they have been a murderer's row for Mansfield this season, as they are working with a 1-run lead as we get closer to the 7th inning here in the 2A state championship to start off championship weekend here at the Benton Schools Athletic Complex. Allison Edwards just got back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning, and she swings to the first pitch. It is high and deep, and that ball is gone over the right center field fence. Allison Edwards, the freshman, doing it all today. A home run to put her team up 3-1.
I mean, come on, Oppo Taco. She stays on that outside pitch and absolutely blast it over the right field fence. Great piece of hitting, and you're right, Dorian, she's doing it all. And then I think we've seen the hats come out too down there on the field.
The hats are out as the team meets her at home plate to celebrate her 4th home run of the year. Edwards swinging at the first pitch she sees.
And as we just said it, she's really found her stride out on the mound, and then here she comes up to the plate and gets the job done.
And no better way to lead off an inning offensively than with a solo shot. And right behind her, the number 4 batter, Chloe Creekmore, who's been the best hitter from Mansfield. Takes ball 1 low and away.
On the other side of the diamond, Creekmore is a senior catcher behind the plate, really doing great things for this team.
Edwards credited the bond between herself and Chloe Creekmore for her success this season. Creekmore, of course, transferred into Mansfield from Greenwood ahead of her junior season. One of 2 players just transfer in from Greenwood, and we will see Greenwood later this afternoon. And of course, the Bulldogs have a fantastic tradition of success on the softball field that Creekmore has helped bring here to Mansfield. Back on the ground, Gist takes her time over to first for the out. And you kind of saw there, her throw looked, she snapped it off, but just her body language and the way that she threw that over to first kind of feels like she's really disappointed after giving up that leadoff home run.
Most definitely. I don't think she's too happy about giving up that homer to Edwards.
I wasn't sure if I was the only one that noticed that.
No, I noticed it too. And I think you have a close game 2-1 and then hitting that homer. Not that it gives you a lot of cushion, okay, because we've, seen them come back, but you just don't want to see a home run hit off of you.
That one fouled back over the press box. And Sydney, to your point, in a low-scoring game like this, one run can very easily feel like 5 or 10.
You're exactly right. Gist and Edwards have been going head-to-head, and you're right. I mean, you don't want to see a run put on the board, a pitcher's duel.
The 1-1. It's high for ball 2 to Natalie Allison, who is 0 for 2 on the day.
And I think the biggest thing for Gist right now is, yeah, she gave up a homer, but to just re-find herself, calm down, focus on what's out in front of her.
And that's a good way to do it. Is that one called for a strike?
I will give props to her, though. She gives up a homer, but then comes back and gets a ground ball out. So that says a lot about she as a pitcher and an athlete.
The 2-2. That one into right center field, but it's going to hang up. Ansley Dawson is there to make the out.
She's coming back. Use that anger, center it, and then go to work.
Skyland Harris steps to the plate. She's 1 for 2. Harris getting that double back in the 3rd inning. Is that one just a smidge inside?
She's got a face mask on. It'd be okay.
Said from someone who probably wore a face mask to someone who never did, because I'm too old for face masks, but the 1-0. Called strike 1 on the outer part of the plate.
Dorian, I give you major props for that because I wanted my face mask, my Uvo shield, everything on.
The next thing I'm going to tell you, we walked to the field uphills both way in the snow. 1-1. That one high and outside, and Gist, after giving up that home run to right center field, really working the outer part of the plate, trying to stay away from these hitters.
You're exactly right. She's really trying to work away, pitch around them right now.
Gets Harris chasing for strike 2.
And I know I just said it, but after the home run, she really centered that energy. She's been focused, locked in. She gets a ground ball out and then a fly out to right field.
The 2-2. That one well up and out of the zone as the count runs full. Harris not one to strike out very often, only 4 strikeouts on the year, only 6 walks, so typically Harris puts the ball in play. The 3-2. And gets her looking on the inner part of the plate. Gist gets the strikeout to end the inning, but the damage is done as Allison Edwards, the freshman, leads it off with a solo home run to right center field. Mansfield extends their lead to 3-1. We head to the bottom part of the 5th. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports. I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
We are just over an hour into the first game in the state championship weekend, the 2A final between the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs and the Mansfield Lady Tigers. And it is Edwards, the freshman in the mound, who has been doing everything for the Lady Tigers here this afternoon. She is pitching a one-hit game. Got the home run to lead off the top of the 5th inning to help her team have a 2-run lead, and Tuckerman's got some work to do. They are down to their final 9 outs here in this 2A state championship.
This has been a very quick game, Dorian, but both teams, they've been getting the job done out on defense, pitching-wise, and the players playing behind the pitchers. They're doing a great job.
And the Lady Bulldogs will go 9-1-2 as Ansley Dawson tries to lay down the bunt. It'll go foul for strike 1.
I don't think that's a bad idea by Dawson. She saw the corners playing back about bag high, but I think Brooklyn Adams, she's gonna move in a little bit now that she's seen her square around.
Brooklyn Adams has moved about 10 feet ahead of that bag down there at third and trying to take away that bunt from Ansley Dawson. But I agree with you. I like the idea. If only one hit on the day for the Lady Tigers, why not try and drop a bunt for a base hit? Go 1. Make that 0-2 on the outer part of the plate.
Yeah, it's really not a bad idea at all, Dorian. You know, I like the small ball, that aspect of the game.
Tuckerman went down 1-2-3 in their half of the 4th. As Dawson chases the high heat for out number 1. The last 3 batters for Tuckerman have gone down via the strikeout. There's 4 strikeouts on the day for Edwards as Shanley Williams in the top of the order stands in here in the bottom of the 5th. Shows bunt, pops it up. Creekmore tracks it down. Chloe Creekmore with a fantastic grab going back towards the screen.
That is a great play by Creekmore. She bounces immediately out of her catcher's position to go get that, tracking it back in foul territory. Again, does a phenomenal job, and she sticks with it. Sometimes that play is hard.
Doesn't even take off the mask. She had it all the way.
Oh no, and caught it over her shoulders.
I think here in the state of Arkansas, people are so used to Casey Opitz for the men's baseball team, making that play look so easy. It's really not. It's a lot harder than it looks on TV.
Oh no, most definitely. Casey Opitz is a monster behind the plate.
Kenzie Soden takes strike 1. Soden has been on base both times today via the walk. The 1-1. That one stays too low. Soden has been so patient at the plate here this afternoon. Worked 2 walks in her first 2 at-bats. Has run the count to 3-1 here against Edwards. Goes after that one for strike 2, as Edwards has come back to run the count full.
You think after that home run, Edwards had a little bit more pep in her step?
A little bit more juice coming out here in the bottom half of the 5th, and the further along we get in this game, the more Mansfield can taste it. The 3-2. Flared out to left field, but enough room for Harley Fuller to track it down as Tuckerman goes down in order here in the bottom of the 5th. We move to the top of the 6th inning with the Mansfield Lady Tigers leading 3-1. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
7-8-9 due up for the Mansfield Lady Tigers here in the top of the 6th inning of the 2A state championship. McKaylee Gist will try and go to work to get her team back into the dugout and get a chance to get back in this final game as we are down to the last 2 innings. But it will be Walker, Smith, and Fuller standing in her way. Fouls the first one back.
So Dorian, I want to bring up really quickly, you know, these athletes, they haven't played. They didn't play their season last year with the COVID year. How much does this really mean? You've got a year taken away from you, and now you're able to be out on the field.
That was one of the common themes as we talked to all the coaches ahead of these state championships. The really motivating factor for a lot of these players is the fact that they got that season taken away from them. We talked a little bit in the college game. You know, you had the opportunity actually to choose whether or not you wanted to go back to the University of Arkansas. You chose to move on. Some players decided to stay. High schoolers didn't have that opportunity as that ball fouled away and Walker down 1-2.
You're exactly right. And, you know, for college athletes, that's great. They get that extra year back. But like you just said, high school athletes, they didn't get that year back. And, you know, for those seniors last year, their last season playing got taken away from them.
The 2020 season, as most people know, canceled after 3 games. As that ball is high. So it's been over 600 days since we have last crowned a state champion. That will change this weekend, and it'll change probably in about half an hour here as we will have a new state champion in the 2A. Of course, Quitman, the defending champion in 2019. They were actually knocked out by this Mansfield team in the quarterfinal of the state tournament.
You know, that's a huge thing for Mansfield to knock out the champion. And I mean, then here they are playing on a high stage.
And don't forget, you can sign up for our newsletter at myarpbs.org/sign up and be entered to win win Ken Burns baseball series on DVD. We'll draw for 12 winners.
Gish just did an awesome job throwing a screw away from Walker. She really worked that count well. Really great pitch.
So a strikeout for Gist to start the top of the 6th here. That will bring up Cole Smith, who is 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a run. Smith, a player with a lot of speed. She leads the team in triples as she swings through that one quickly. Down in the count. The offering from Gist flared out over towards first, but foul.
That's another great pitch by Gist. Getting her to chase, you know, she just kind of threw her hands at it. Now she's ahead in the count.
And despite the score, this one's still pretty much a pitcher's duel. Mansfield only with 5 hits. Is that one tapped foul?
Very much so a pitcher's duel. And honestly, in my opinion, now that I'm not playing, those are some of my most favorite games to watch.
Your perspective changes when you're not playing anymore, that's for certain.
Oh, most definitely.
The 1-2. fouled back again.
She is really attacking Smith right now on the outer part of the plate, throwing a really great screwball, getting her to chase. She's still ahead in the count. So Smith right here, she's really gonna have to fight.
The 1-2 again. This one on the ground in play. Over to first, easy play for Reagan Washam.
You know, and that, at bat right there, Gist is working off the plate. Smith, she knew what she was expecting there.
2 outs now in the top of the 6th for Harley Fuller, the number 9 hitter. Fuller 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Ball on the outer part of the plate.
So her first at bat, she had the sacrifice bunt. The second at bat, she tried to bunt for a base hit. Wasn't a bad idea. It's interesting with her bunting so much, the corners, there are 2 outs, but you never know what she might do up at the plate.
And she swings at that one for strike 1. The wind has started to pick up a little bit in the press box here at the Benton Schools Athletic Complex. As the 1-1 finds the backstop.
I think something that we're seeing from Gist here, since Edwards homered, she is really working every hitter on the outside part of the plate, really staying off the plate on them.
The 2-1 again on the outer part, just as you said. Fuller swings through it, and the Tuckerman fans loud, trying to encourage Gist and the Lady Bulldogs to the 3rd out here in the top of the 6th. Strike 3 looking on the outer part of the plate. Gist 3 up, 3 down for the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs. They will head to the plate trailing 3-1. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For information regarding COVID-19 vaccine clinic locations, call the Arkansas Department of Health Vaccine Clinic Call Center at 1-800-985-6030.
Now, more than ever, community is important. Local schools, businesses, and charities are in need of support. Each one of us can make a difference. When you volunteer, give, shop locally, or simply participate, you help support and grow your community. It makes us all stronger when we all are involved. I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. We're proud to be a part of this wonderful community and want to encourage each of you to be involved in yours.
We never gonna stop.
Well, welcome back to the Benton Schools Athletic Complex as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in the 2A State Softball Championship between the Mansfield Lady Tigers and the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs. Sydney, the Bulldogs down to their last 6 outs, and of course, they couldn't come to bat with a better part of their lineup. They're going 3-4-5, which is exactly who they want up if they want to find a way to get back into the state championship.
It is exactly who they want to have up, and right now, they just need to focus on stringing some hits together, just taking it pitch by pitch. They don't need to make the moment bigger than what it is. They're down by 2 runs. Just stick to who they are. Get the job done. String together some base hits.
Easier said than done when they are facing the freshman Edwards, who has been fantastic here in her state championship debut this afternoon. As she spins that one in there for a ball, but Edwards has been doing a little bit of everything. 5 innings pitched, giving up just 1 hit, 1 run, 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. That one called strike 1 on the inner part of the plate.
And we talked about it a little bit earlier, Dorian. We talked about Edwards really attacking these hitters on the inside part, and she has stuck to that approach and that play in the entire game.
Ball too low, and you can feel a little bit the energy here inside the stadium has picked up The fans know that it is down to the last parts of these games. The Tuckerman fans getting a little bit louder. There was a brief chop song just playing. That one hard on the ground to third, gloved by Adams, can't make the play. Gracie Adams gets on to start the inning as Brooklyn Adams got a glove on it over at third base, but couldn't make the play over at first. Tough hop for Adams over there at third.
That was a tough hop as she tried to backhand it, and then she just couldn't quite stick with it, but that's exactly what Tuckerman needs right here. They need things like that to happen.
And that will bring up Audrey Alton, the catcher. Has a lot of power. And she will stand in and take ball one.
And to go back to the comment that you made, Dorian, it is so great. I mean, fans are up on their feet. They're excited. They're getting loud. They are down to their last 6 outs. So this is a huge part of the game.
And they're going to call that an error on Brooklyn Adams. Alton swinging right at first base. Not enough time for Skyland Harris to turn and get the lead runner at first. So works almost as well as a sacrifice.
You're exactly right. It really does. She didn't have to bunt. She moved her over to second, got her in scoring position. You know, they're needing 2 runs right now to tie the ball game, but that definitely does the job.
Well, they always tell you to get 1 run at a time, but if there's anyone that can get you 2, it is McKaylee Gist as she swings at the first pitch. Gist leading the team in home runs this year, comes into the day with 10 for the freshman. And you know that she would love nothing more than to tie this game up with 1 swing.
You're exactly right. It takes 1 swing to tie this game up. And 10 home runs as a freshman, I mean, wow.
The 0-1 leaves it outside for ball 1.
I'm going to be honest right here. I think Edwards knows that she is a very powerful hitter. I think she's going to try to pitch around her, not give her something in her wheelhouse to really drive.
The Braxton Burnside unintentional intentional walk.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Creekmore loses it. She is off and running, and Gracie Smith heads up base running. She is safely into third.
You know, that ball didn't get that far away from Creekmore, but Gracie Smith really had a great jump, read that behind Creekmore. Really great base running right there.
Risky decision, but one that pays off as Tuckerman now has a run just 60 feet away. Gist knew that was a ball, just kind of rolled her shoulder as she stepped out. We take another look at that throw down to first. Smith definitely in there safely. And Creekmore heads out to the rubber to talk it over with Edwards.
I think right now, just like you said, it might not have to be a homer, but if she can just put the ball in play and score Smith from third, we're talking a whole different ball game.
You saw during that break Harris and Smith talking between first and second as well, turning to notify everyone where the runner at third. As important as it is for Tuckerman, it actually doesn't matter right now in the scope of the game, given that Mansfield has a 2-run lead.
You're exactly right, but it is a game changer as they could tie it into just 1 run.
Here's the 3-1. Ball 4 to Gist. And McKaylee Gist works a big walk to put runners on the corner for Tuckerman. And Matt Dillon is going to bring in a pinch hitter.
You know, that's a really great job right there by Gist. Really, really honing in on the moment. Not, again, like I've said, making it bigger than what it is. For them, it's really just going to take it pitch by pitch. They've really got to stick to that concept.
Instead of a pinch hitter, it will be a courtesy runner. Julie Glasgow running for the pitcher, McKaylee Gist. Glasgow has seen 21 games. She scored 20 runs coming in as a courtesy runner. Reagan Washam standing in at the plate in front of this crowd of 694 here inside the Benton Schools Athletic Complex that have come out to see the 2A State Softball Championship. Washam swinging at the first pitch. Allison Edwards facing her toughest spot of the game here with runners on first and third in the bottom of the 6th, only 1 out. Glasgow off and running. She is safe at second. The ball gets away. And Smith is in to score.
And right there, Creekmore throws it down to Kiera Thomas. Just can't stick with it. I mean, that is huge right there.
And while Smith dove into home safely, heads up base running by Julie Glasgow as she's on to third. So now Tuckerman with the tying run just 60 feet away.
And you know, being a pinch runner, knowing your role, she just got out there and she did what she was supposed to do. She fulfilled her job. Now if they can just get her 60 feet.
And there's a reason that Matt Dillon called her one of the best courtesy runners he's ever had during his time at Tuckerman. Donnie Eveld taking a couple steps out of the dugout. You can see he's brought the defense in. They're going to try and cut this run down at the plate.
I think it's a really good decision right here. You've got a 3-2 ball game. You really don't want her to score here. You've had the lead the entire game.
And this is where we talk about the experience of being in this stage really kicks in. This is the first ever state championship game for Tuckerman. Mansfield hasn't played in one since 2012, and you can simulate it in some of the semifinals, but it's not quite like when you get to a state final.
No, exactly right. And you know, right here, I don't know if a ground ball is going to get the job done, but if she can hit it and get it into the outfield, I mean, they're going to score a run.
The outfield in as well, trying to potentially turn a double play at home is the 0-2. That one lifted out to center field. It's shallow. Not enough for Glasgow to make the break for home, as that is Natalie Allison coming in and making the catch on what ended up being a very tough pop-up with the infield being drawn so far in.
Right, that was a tough play. She had to run a pretty long way, but that worked in Mansfield's favor. They had them in for a reason, so that if a short pop-up was hit, they could make the throw to home. If they're too deep, they can't make that throw to home if she tags.
Normal depth defense by the outfield. That ball would have been a base hit. As it is, 2 outs. Lizzie Walker didn't miss that one by much as she fouls it directly back into the screen.
Oh yeah, she was all over that pitch. First pitch strike, she was all over it.
Allison Edwards over 100 pitches here this afternoon. That was number 103 for the freshman.
But you know, this is nothing for her. She's been pitching the entire season.
And you've already thrown 112 innings on the year. What's 7 more, right?
You're exactly right.
Especially the seventh biggest of your high school career up to this point. The 0-1. Walker, little foul ball going to get out of play. Adams gave chase.
I mean, right now we have a really good game going, Dorian.
And this is exactly what you want after having 2 years off from your last state championship game. You come out, fantastic game. We knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel between both of these two freshmen. And it is 3-2 with Mansfield leading 0-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Tried to get her on the rice ball, but Walker lays off.
And I think a game like this, with as tight as it is, whoever comes out on top, I think it makes it even that much sweeter because it's not a blowout.
The 1-2. Walker back up the middle. She is safe at first, and Tuckerman has tied the game. Edwards had been fielding her position so well so far this game, but Walker hit that one just too hard. She got a glove on it, but not able to come up with the play, and Walker comes through with a huge RBI.
That's a huge RBI right there, and you know, just like we had been talking about, Edwards has been fielding her position the entire game. Those are one of those ground balls that's a little tricky. I think it spun a little bit, kind of caught her off guard, and I mean, the crowd is absolutely erupting.
Both of these communities about 2 hours away from Benton, but they have made the trip to cheer on their team. As we mentioned, 694 fans here to watch this game as Tuckerman has tied it up with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And right now this inning, everything has gone Tuckerman's way. They've strung together some hits. They've had a couple of errors defensively, Mansfield has, so it's really going in their favor right now. They're also the home team.
The softball is a game of runs, and so far the Lady Bulldogs on one as Fortenberry swings at a strike.
To go off of your point too, Dorian, this game is a game of inches as well. A ball going one way or the other, just an inch away, it could make a difference. So right now, Tuckerman, it's really going in their favor.
The 0-1 from Edwards. Pulled the string on the off speed and gets Fortenberry leading out in front.
Right, that's a great pitch. We really haven't seen Edwards throw that many changeups this game, but not a better time than now. That was a great pitch, throwing Fortenberry off.
Gutsy call by Donnie Eveld. The 0-2 to Fortenberry. Gets her string swinging for strike 3. Edwards sets Fortenberry down on strikes, but Tuckerman answers in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 runs to tie this game at 3, and we are headed to the top of the 7th in the 2A state final with a tie game. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Arkansas Citizens Access Network gives you a front row seat to your state government. Live stream board and commission meetings, press conferences, legislative proceedings, and more. Events are also archived for 30 days. Receive updates right on your phone by texting ARCAN to 313131. Be informed and get involved at myarkansaspbs.org/ARCAN.
Blimey.
Quite something, isn't it?
Watch entire seasons of your favorite shows from Masterpiece.
Well, one thing is clear.
Time is not on our side. With Passport on the PBS video app. Binge your favorite and the latest shows from our huge collection of dramas.
Looking forward to all sorts of things.
Oh, how exciting.
Or catch up on episodes you've missed.
Come on then, what are you waiting for?
Downton is catching up with the times we live in.
These and other Masterpiece shows are available with Passport on the PBS video app. Download it today.
Welcome back to the Benton Schools Athletic Complex, and we have got ourselves a game here in the 2A state final between Tuckerman and Mansfield, as the Lady Bulldogs have tied the game in the bottom of the 6th, 3-3, and they will send out Kenzie Soden, their sophomore right-hander, to try and close this thing out. And this is a move that's not entirely unexpected, Cindy, from Matt Dillon. This has been a 1-2 punch between Gist and Soden all year long.
Yeah, and Soden, she is great. She throws around the mid-50s. She spins the ball very well. Her curve would be her best pitch. She also throws the changeup occasionally. She throws a lot of strikes, and that's what they're needing right now, is someone to come in, really attack the hitters, and throw a lot of strikes.
Soden has been incredibly effective. She's thrown 44 2/3 inning, given up 10 earned runs, 40 hits. She's only walked 5 batters in her work this year, 51 strikeouts.
51 strikeouts to that minimum amount of walks, that is incredible.
And she has not pitched in a moment as big as this. The first pitch is ball 1, and she will be facing the top of the order for Mansfield, Adams, Thomas, Edwards. The 4th time through the lineup, the Lady Tigers are going to try and look to get something going. Ripped down the line at 3rd. Bill Fry has his arms up. He says that ball was foul. And Sydney, you said this is a game of inches. That ball was not foul by much.
You were exactly right. It is a game of inches. And I mean, that was a really close. Bill Fry, he had a close call right there. Almost got him too.
As a former third baseman, I'd be breathing a sigh of relief. Soden with the changeup.
For Mansfield right now, they're, the top of the 7th inning. Again, they're going to have to really hone in on not making the moment bigger than what it is, stringing together some base hits.
Off speed again, Tapper back to Soden at first. over to first in time for the out.
You know, and I said that Soden, she throws a changeup occasionally. We just saw it 2 times in that at bat. And boy, does she have a great changeup.
Cindy, do you like the decision, if she doesn't throw the change a whole lot, to throw it to these Mansfield hitters who have been so aggressive here this afternoon?
Oh, most definitely. They have been extremely aggressive. So throwing that off speed to really keep them off balance, especially in this moment, it's perfect.
Kiara Thomas swinging at strike 1. And Cindy, to your point about the amount of strikes she throws, the Lady Tigers don't really have the luxury of waiting deep in the count because she's not going to throw them a lot of balls.
You're exactly right, and that's what they're going to have to do right now on the top of this inning to try to get a rally going. They're not going to be able to get behind in the count because she throws so many strikes. And then she does have that great changeup that we've seen that she can throw and probably will throw.
Well, Thomas quickly down 0-2 in the count after fouling the last one back. Looks at strike 3 on the outside corner.
Want to talk about coming in a big-time situation, a big-time inning, and really getting the job done. I don't think she has any nerves out there.
Cool as a cucumber is Kenzie Soden as she picked up the second out of the inning via the strikeout on the outer part of the plate. Thomas knew it too. But in steps the freshman Allison Edwards. Of course, Edwards with the solo shot to lead off the top of the 5th in her last at bat. And this is a batter that you don't want to make a mistake to. In the air, but it will stay on the infield. And it is into the glove of Reagan Washam as Soden comes in and sets down Mansfield 1-2-3. The Lady Bulldog fans are on their feet. We will head to the bottom of the 7th inning with a tie game. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory-certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
For a DVD copy of any of the state championship games, go to M&M Productions to place your order. That's mmproductions.net. And if you're going to have a copy, this is a great one to have a copy of. We are tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th of the 2A state final between Mansfield and Tuckerman as Ansley Dawson leads off the bottom of the 7th. Swinging at the first pitch on the ground to short. It is bobbled, and Dawson is safe at first.
Dawson just did a great job coming up to bat, putting the ball in play. You know, on this turf, you never know sometimes what you're going to get. Kiara Thomas making an error, but that is a huge moment for Dawson. Lead off hitter getting on base.
Dawson doing her job, just putting the bat on the ball, letting something happen, and that brings up Shanley Williams, the lefty slapper bunter, in a perfect position for her. Shows bunt.
You're exactly right, Dorian. Right now, they just need one run to win the ball game. So no better person than Williams to be up to bat, do what she does best as a slapper, put the ball on the ground. You know, short game is her forte, so we'll see what she does here.
0-1 after offering at the first pitch. Squares again, that one high out of the zone for ball 2, or ball 1 rather. And if you're Edwards, you're trying to keep the ball up in the zone, get Williams to pop that ball up. Maybe you can get lucky. That one low and away. Dawson will get to second as the ball gets to the screen.
And right now, Williams with that ball getting by Creekmore. She doesn't have to bunt anymore. I mean, maybe she does to advance her to third and get on base, but this is a big moment right here for Williams, and she has really had 3 good at-bats.
Doesn't have any hits to show for it, but she has been competitive in the box. Offers it that one for strike number 2.
Yeah, that pitch is down and out. She knew it was a ball. You could kind of see it in her body language. She shouldn't have gone for it, but 2-2 count. We'll see what damage she does.
The 2-2 from Edwards. Popped up. Creekmore calling for it. Collision between Creekmore and Adams, and it leaves third base unattended. Ansley Dawson, the heads-up base running, tags on the pop foul and goes to third as Brooklyn Adams and Chloe Creekmore collide.
That is some great base running by Dawson. You know, a lot of people, they want to hone in on the offense and the defensive part, but base running is absolutely huge. She just tagged at second base on a pop foul fly over on the third base side. That is a huge moment by her. Great base running.
Mansfield head coach Donnie Eveld coming out to third to check on third baseman Brooklyn Adams as she and Chloe Creekmore really with a hard collision. You can see Adams shaken up there over at third. Certainly hope that she's okay.
Right, I think they were both just going at it. I think Creekmore was calling ball. Adams didn't really necessarily peel off. But yeah, I think she's shaken up a little bit right now. And you know, there's also probably some emotions of what's going on in the game and the place that they're at. But I really can't say enough how great that was by Dawson. Cannot reiterate it enough.
Creekmore and Adams both in that moment thinking solely about the out, which it's so easy in a moment like this with such a magnitude of a game on the line to just get so focused in. But really also, I think it would have been prudent in that situation to have Thomas. You see the two converging for the ball. Someone has to pay attention to third base, and you have to know that someone needs to go cover. But as it is, Tuckerman now with the winning run just 60 feet away. Donnie Eveld gathering his infield, having him talk it over. Sydney, what in a situation like this, you and I have both played in state titles. I mean, what words do you have as you tried to settle your team in from such a big emotional play? Because that's going to be a big emotional swing with what we saw just happen.
You know, that play, it's a game changer. But I think right now he's out on the pitcher's mound. He's telling them, you've got a runner at third base 60 feet away from winning the state championship. I think right here he's really just, I mean, the outfielders are going to have to pull in because anything hit over their head, they're going to win the ball game. So defensively, you know, we've seen some errors. They're not going to be able to have that happen.
And it is Kenzie Soden who came in the top of the 7th, set Mansfield down in order. She comes up to the plate now. Soden has been on base twice with a walk, and she will have the opportunity to get her team a state title. Takes that ball low and away. And Sydney, we talk so much about the defense in this situation. What about as a hitter? It's really easy to get outside yourself in this kind of situation.
Right, it really is. And, you know, the crowd is loud. They're, you know, vivacious. So as a hitter, you can't really take that into consideration. You got to stay calm.
The 1-0. And Soden leaves it upstairs for ball 2.
Also, Dorian, you know, the position that she's in right now as a hitter, she's just got to get her job done. She knows what her role is right now. You know, get something into the outfield, hard base hit through the infield.
Swinging at the 2-0, and she fouls it back.
And I'm going to make one more point. It's also, as a hitter in this situation, it's staying disciplined. Can't really swing pitches out of the zone. You've got to get that good pitch to really drive. Make something happen.
I like the aggressiveness on the 2-0, but she's now 2-1 from Edwards. And it's into left! Tuckerman wins the 2A state championship, a walk-off by Kenzie Soden, and they are piling on in the infield.
It is absolutely incredible what Soden just did and this Tuckerman team. How exciting for them to win the 2A state championship, and what a better game. I mean, come on, it was a fight the entire game. I think I see some tears on their faces.
There are tears on both sides of this as you have the ecstasy of Tuckerman and the agony of Mansfield. They are hugging it out over along the first base sideline. They know they were so close, but Tuckerman, what a fantastic comeback from them. They were down 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. They scored 2, and Kenzie Soden, what a big moment for her with the RBI single to plate the game-winning run.
Absolutely huge moment. And you know, she came in as the pitcher to shut down the top of the 7th inning, and then she comes up with the game on the line and gets the job done. She didn't make the moment bigger than what it was.
Well, it is a big moment as we will crown our first 2021 state softball champion, the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs. When we come back, stick around. You are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. It's going up in here! Let's go!
And here it is, Kenzie Soden stepping up to the plate, line drive, left center field, scoring Ansley Dawson from third base, and they win the state championship game. That is a big-time moment for Soden. How exciting for Tuckerman.
And she is mobbed by her teammates down the first base line as Tuckerman wins their first ever state softball championship 4-3 over the Mansfield Lady Tigers. And the Lady Bulldogs standing and cheering on Mansfield. And this was a fantastic game between two top seeds. We knew it was going to be close coming into this one. This game lived up to all of the expectations.
It most definitely did, and like we talked about earlier, this is the best game that you can possibly have, winning a state championship. Whoever came out on top, which was Tuckerman, it's so exciting because it was a fight to win.
Important to remember, these are two very young teams, so the future looking bright for both of these programs as Tuckerman rushes for the championship trophy. The Lady Bulldogs capturing their first crown as Mackenzie Soden right in there in the middle. And Sydney, it was the emotions of a moment like this.
Oh my gosh, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I've been here before with North Little Rock, but there's nothing quite like it. This is gonna be a memory that they remember for the rest of their lives. This is gonna be a day that they look back on so much. It's just such a highlight of their softball journey.
Well, Tuckerman hadn't lost a game since April 15th. Coming into today, there was 3-2 to Cedar Ridge, and Coach Matt Dillon said that it was a wake-up call, and from that moment on, this team was singularly focused on winning a state title. Today, they accomplished their goal.
You're exactly right. I'm sure he cannot be more proud of his team and the way that they fought back to win this game. It just means so much, and it's going to mean so much to their community as well.
And we will talk about that hit by Kenzie Soden, about the game-winning RBI, but really the difference maker in this game was that 6th inning where Tuckerman scored those 2 runs, and no surprise here, the MVP of the 2A state final, Mackenzie Soden.
No surprise.
Well, we will be back with a recap of the 2A state championship game. The Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs winning 4-3 over Mansfield. We will have that on Arkansas PBS. We are watching the Centennial State Softball Championships. We'll be right back.
Join us this summer for the 2nd season of Blueberry's Clubhouse. We'll see a whole new crop of friends for the very best adventures in Arkansas.
Stay connected to your public media network. Text ARPBS to 313131 to receive the latest updates. Message and data rates may apply.
Well, the Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs scored 2 in the 6th and a walk-off RBI by Kenzie Soden in the bottom of the 7th to capture their first ever softball state championship, 4-1 over the Mansfield Lady Tigers. Sydney Parr, Dorian Kraft with you at Benton Schools Athletic Complex. And Sydney, what a way to crown our first softball state champion for the first time in over 2 years.
I mean, over 2 years, softball has not been played. A game like this is how you want to start off the weekend, okay? The 6th inning was huge for them. They came out, they put the ball in play, they made the defense work, they did what they needed to do. They strung together hits and they made the game 3-3. And then, oh my gosh, Soden, bottom of the 7th inning, absolutely incredible, stepping up in a huge moment. She didn't make it bigger than what it was.
On the other side of that, Mansfield got a fantastic game for their phenomenal pitcher, the freshman Edwards. Did about all that she could do today. 5 strikeouts, scattered a couple hits across 7 innings, had the big home run, but a heartbreaking loss for her and the rest of the Lady Tigers.
Right. She's absolutely a bulldog on the mound. She is a workhorse for her team. She did phenomenal in the circle, and up at the plate, I mean, you hit a home run in the state championship game, and she's a freshman. I can't reiterate that enough. She has a long career with her team. And she really played well. There were other bright spots on the team as well. It's a heartbreaker, though.
Certainly a lot of bright spots, one of those being the freshman for Tuckerman, McKaylee Gist. She went 6 innings. Soden came in to close out the game, but it's important to remember that Gist also only a freshman in this game, so a bright future ahead of her as well as the rest of this Tuckerman team.
Oh, most definitely. And Gist out on the mound, she really stuck to her approach and her plan attacking those hitters, and she really threw a great handful of some pitches. She was dominant on the mound, and then also at the plate, she had some good at-bats.
Tuckerman, of course, once again winning their first ever state championship 4-3 over the Mansfield Lady Tigers. It was the first time Mansfield has been back in the state title since 2012. So both of these teams really emerging back onto the state stage for the first time in a while, or in Tuckerman's case for the first time. And what a way to do it. A walk-off in the bottom of the 7th this game. We knew it was going to be evenly matched. And Sydney, for you, we can talk about the game-winning RBI by Soden, but what was the play of the game for you in this?
I think the play of the game for me was early on in the game. There were some things that they did defensively that really made a difference, but honestly, just Soden's hit, that is huge. But I'm going to talk about Dawson, okay? So she's on
that's
second.
What you're going to say.
Yep, she's on second. Williams pops the ball up to third. She tags at second and advances to third. That is a huge moment. She's 60 feet away from winning a ball game for Soden to make that hit. So I give major props to her base running. Base running's huge.
Well, what a fantastic way to start championship weekend here at the Benton Schools Athletic Complex. The Tuckerman Lady Bulldogs capture their first state championship in program history with a walk-off 4-3 win over the Mansfield Lady Tigers. That is going to do it for Sydney Parr and myself, Dorian Kraft. Thank you for joining us for the 2A state championship. Don't forget baseball coming up right here on Arkansas PBS at 1 o'clock, and we will be back with you later this evening for the 5A state championship between Benton and Greenwood.